lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. We are going to be doing something that I have never done before on this channel, and that is I am going to be reading books by authors I've never read anything by, mainly out of curiosity and to see whether I like the writing style and whether I want to read more by these authors. I have picked out 5 books to read in today's video, which is quite a lot for me. All of these are standalones, I am pretty sure, as I didn't really want to start a new series for the sake of this video when I'm testing out different writing styles. So I have 3, I think, fantasy and 2 romance books. So let me show you what we have today. I have Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonam-Young. I've heard so many things about this book and I recently bought her newest release. So I'm really curious, as I really want to love her writing style, and I'm pretty sure I will. The other romance book I have is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I cannot believe I have not read a single book by Lynn Painter before, and I really wanted to, so I'm starting off with the OG, very popular Better Than the Movies. I'm a little bit concerned because this is just under 340-50 pages, but there's only like 17 chapters, so the chapters are going to be very long, but I'm hopeful that I should get through this pretty quickly. I have A Tempest of Tea by Hafsah Faizal. I have the We Hunt the Flame duology by her, and I know that that's really what people typically start with when reading her books, but I didn't want to read the duology today, so I'm going to read this, which I'm pretty sure is a standalone. I'm going to read Ariadne by Jennifer Saints. I have Atalanta as well by her. I don't know if this is classed as fantasy or in a more specific genre of Greek mythology. I will have to look that up at some point, but I know it's definitely fiction. This will be my first ever Greek mythology book, so I'm a little bit apprehensive but also so excited. I really hope I love this. And finally, I have the longest book in this pile, and that is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is a very famous book. I know she has written other books, so if I enjoy this, I know I will definitely want to read more by her. I am so excited for these, but now I need to choose what I'm going to read first. With standalone books, I typically intersperse the genres I read, so I never read 2 fantasy standalones one after the other, the same with romance. So what makes the most sense for me is to kind of split this stack in 2 and intersperse reading the fantasy books with the romance books. I think I'm going to pick up Ariadne by Jennifer Saints. We are going to start this video off by reading an entirely new author and new genre for me, so I will update you when I have some thoughts about this. It has been several hours since I last spoke to you, and I have started Ariadne. It is coming up to 7 o'clock in the evening, and I have just finished chapter 8 and I'm on page 94. So I've read a decent amount today. I probably won't end up getting that much more read tonight, but I must say currently I am really enjoying this. I really like Jennifer Saints' way of storytelling. I'm finding it really interesting, and honestly her writing is very addictive. It already feels like there is so much going on, yet we are not even 100 pages in. I have no idea what the rest of the book is going to be filled with. For some context, we are following our main character, Ariadne, and I'm really excited because going into this, I didn't know what it was going to be about. And this is kind of following the story of the Minotaur. I don't remember a lot about learning about the Minotaur and the Labyrinth, but I definitely remember it, and I remember that certain story when I was younger really interested me. So I'm really genuinely excited about this and to continue reading. So I will update you some point tomorrow when I've made some more progress. It is the following morning, I have done a little bit more reading of Ariadne. I have just finished chapter 14 and am on page 145. So I am this far through. I am definitely enjoying this. There was a betrayal a few chapters ago that I really wasn't expecting, and it definitely hurt. I really thought that this was just going to be about the Minotaur, but I think it's so much more than that. I have no idea what the next almost 250 pages are going to involve. I am nervous. I really hope some characters get the retribution that they deserve, because some other characters are really not being treated very well. Because Greek mythology is so new to me, I'm really having to concentrate reading this to make sure that I'm remembering all of the names and understanding the text. So I wouldn't say it is quick progress, but I'm definitely getting more used to the writing style and the technique of storytelling, and I'm just enjoying it. I'll update you later. I have finished Ariadne. I really hoped that it would have a happy ending, and I'm very saddened to report that tears were shed. I'm so sad for these characters, and particularly the women in this book. So overall, I can say that this was definitely a 5-star read, and I am 100% going to be reading more by Jennifer Sake because this was amazing, and I'm still so sad. I thought this was going to be a sweet love story, and that's not really what it was. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I'm 100% reading more by this author, so absolute success. So now I think I'm going to pick up something quite a bit lighter than that, because that was, I wouldn't necessarily call it dark, but it certainly wasn't sunshine and rainbows. So I'm going to read Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter next. I will talk to you when I've made some progress. It is several hours later. It is coming up to 7 o'clock in the evening, and I have officially started Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I have just finished reading chapter 5 and am on page 103, so I've definitely made a dent in it. This book is, I think, 346 pages, so I am secretly hoping to ideally finish this at some point tomorrow, which I think is possible, seeing as I actually haven't spent that much time reading, yet I'm over 100 pages in. So far, I am enjoying this. Our main character, Liz, she's not, I would say, annoying me, she's just doing a few things that I personally don't like. Like, she is 100% prioritizing a guy over her friends and actively lying to her friends, which I'm not such a big fan of, but I think this is overall going to be very cute. So I'm going to continue reading, and I will update you some point tomorrow. Someone please tell me why I am reading a young adult romance book and the chapter that I'm on, chapter 6, is 60 pages long. 60. I knew the chapters were going to be long. In this, I didn't think they were going to be that long. So far, they haven't been too bad, but I'm fairly certain that the chapter that I'm reading is 60 pages. That's rough. Okay, so I was planning on verbally updating you about the progress of Better Than the Movies before I finished the book, but I got ahead of myself and finished it. I read this in less than 24 hours. I really enjoyed this, and I'm going to be rating this 4.5 stars. I really liked Lynn Painter's writing. It is guaranteed that I am going to be picking up more books by her because I really enjoyed this. I must say, so this is a young adult romance. The characters are in high school, so they are a little bit less mature than some of the other characters in romance books that I typically read, which I don't really see a problem with. It just meant that there was a little bit more miscommunication and a few things that stressed me out on the inside, like Liz lying to her best friend constantly. But yeah, I only just realised the timeline of this book is, I think, 2 weeks, yet so much happened, including a 60-page chapter. I know I talked about it before, but I'm not over that. In a young adult book, other than the severely long chapters, I didn't really have a problem with the writing itself. It was mainly the characters that frustrated me, but I enjoyed it enough to rate it 4.5 stars. So that means I'm going to move on to the third book of this video and my third new author, and that is A Tempest of Tea by Hafsah Faizal. I am very excited about this book, so I am going to go ahead and start this, and I will update you later today when I've made some progress. It is coming up to 7 o'clock in the evening now, and I have officially started A Tempest of Tea. I have not gotten very far into it. I haven't spent that long reading, but in all fairness, I did read a lot this morning. So I have just finished chapter 5 and am on exactly page 50. So I haven't really made much of a dent. I typically read the most in the mornings, so I'm hoping to get another couple of chapters done this evening and then get a good chunk done tomorrow morning. I will see you then. Good afternoon. I have made a little bit more progress, but I'm not going to lie, it is a little bit slow going, but I haven't really sat down to just read, which I'm hoping to do a bit later today. Currently, I have just finished chapter 11 and am on page 106. I'm almost a third of the way through. I'm definitely enjoying this, and I am enjoying the writing style, and I'm getting some good vibes from this. I'm going to continue reading, and I'll let you know how it goes, hopefully later on today. I have finished A Tempest of Tea by Hafsah Faizal. I think I'm going to give this 4 stars. I really did like this story as well as this author's writing style. I'm definitely looking forward to reading more by her, but I wasn't the biggest fan of how this ended. This started off very, very strongly, in my opinion, and then things got a bit confusing for me. There were mention of elves, I think, like once, and then we didn't touch back on it. But in all fairness, I thought this was a standalone, and it is not. There is going to be more books in this series. I liked the characters. It gave serious Six of Crows vibes, and I really liked the found family aspect of it. But yes, a very, very solid 4 stars. So that means now I am going to pick up Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonam-Young. I'm very excited for this book. I think I'm going to really enjoy this, at least I hope so. So I'm going to start this, and I will update you when I've made some progress. It is coming up to 7 o'clock in the evening now, and I have officially started Out on a Limb. It hasn't actually felt like I've spent that much time reading, but I've just finished chapter 6 and I'm on page 77. So far, I'm already absolutely adoring this writing style. I think I'm going to get through this very quickly and hopefully love it. Only a quick update, as I am desperate to get back to reading, so I will talk to you tomorrow. It is the next morning and I have been reading out on a limb for I think about 20 or 21 hours now. And I've made it quite far. I have literally just over 50 pages left. I've just finished chapter 31 and I'm on page 354. So I'm loving this, and I do genuinely think I might have found a new top romance author for me. I have just been grinning and smiling and just wanting to read this for hours upon hours upon hours. I don't want to put it down. It's incredible. I love our two main characters. They're phenomenal. I love them. And now I'm just desperate to get my hands on all of her other books because I love this. I'm going to finish the final 50 pages of this and I will update you with my thoughts and star rating, even though I'm pretty sure I already know it. I'm done. 5 stars. I absolutely adored this. I loved our two characters. I loved the storyline. There was no third act conflict. I shed happy tears. It was so cute. It made me tear up. That doesn't really happen to me very often. It was absolutely adorable. I have found a new favourite romance author. I want to read everything she's ever written. So, yeah, a success. And that means I am on to our last book of today's video, and that is going to be The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is going to be the longest book in this video at 626 pages. The text is relatively large, so I'm hopeful it won't take me too long to read. I'm gonna start this and I will update you later on. Good morning. It is the following morning now, coming up to 11 o'clock, and I have made it through part 1 of The Night Circus. The chapters do not have numbers, so I don't know how many chapters I've read, but as I said, I just finished part 1 and I am now on page 149. So it feels like I've done a lot of reading, but I haven't really made a dent. I am enjoying this. I'm not enthralled with it. I'm not thrilled with it. I'm not having much emotions elicited by the story, not like Out on a Limb when I was just grinning from ear to ear from basically start to finish. So I feel very neutral about this at the moment. I think the premise is really interesting. I'm surprised that it's actually set on Earth in our world. I thought this was pure fantasy set in a different land, but no, it's actually set here. But there are elements of fantasy, mystical magic in it. Yeah, I think this is going to be interesting. I really expected that I was going to fly through this book, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think it will probably take me, 3, maybe even 4 days to read this, even though the text is big. So I am going to try and get quite a bit read today, maybe see if I can get to the halfway point. And typically with books, when I get to the halfway point, I fly through the final half. So we will see. I'll update you later. I was supposed to do another update yesterday. I said that I wanted to try and get halfway through yesterday as well, and I also did not. I think I got to page either 250 or a bit further than that, but I have done a fair amount of reading today and I just finished part 2 and I'm on page 362, so I'm now over halfway through. I am enjoying the story. I think it's definitely unique. I'm still not finding that I'm particularly invested in it, but I am finding it quite easy to read. I like the writing style. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily bored, I'm just not thrilled. I have just over 250 pages left. It's not going to get done today, but I'm hopeful that I will be able to get quite a chunk read today and then I'll be able to finish it tomorrow. So I'm going to continue reading. I probably won't update you for a long while. wasn't really expecting to do another update today, but I've made quite a decent bit of progress. I think when I last updated you, I was at the end of part 2 and I just started part 3. Well, now I am on part 4 and I'm just about to start reading on page 490. So I don't have too much left to go. I have about 140 pages, just under that. I am struggling with not being emotionally invested in this. It's an interesting storyline. It's a really interesting premise. I'm not connected to these characters and I'm really quite sad about it because there is some really nice characters. There was a little bit of a love triangle that I'm not happy about, and I think something's going to go wrong in regards to one of the characters in that, or she's going to do something. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect with any of this. I don't think I'm going to get that much more reading done tonight, but I'm very confident that I will be able to finish this some point tomorrow. So I think I'm going to end this here and I will update you when I finish the book. I have finished the Night Circus and I'm going to give this 4 stars. This was good. I just didn't really connect with it. The story was really interesting. I really liked how the end of the book kind of linked back to right at the beginning. That was really, really cool in my opinion. But I just wasn't really invested in it. But I can see why so many people love this book, and I think I will probably pick up more books by Erin Morgenstern, as I definitely enjoyed her writing style. But yeah, I think this was probably my least favourite book that I read in this video. I don't think this is a bad book at all. I think this is a very good book. But I don't think this is quite what I expected from it, particularly the ending. I think it rounded off nicely, but I was not expecting the way that it ended. Overall, I am very glad that I read this. So, seeing as I've read 5 books in this video, let's do a quick recap. I started off by reading Ariadne by Jennifer Saint, and this was a 5-star read. Absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to pick up Atalanta by her, which is right behind me. I then read Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I really enjoyed this. I gave this 4.5 stars. I loved the vibe of it, and even though this wasn't a 5-star read, I found myself thinking about this book a lot and how desperately I want to read more by this author. I then read A Tempest of Tea by Hafsah Faizal. Again, I really enjoyed it, gave it 4 stars. Cannot wait to read her We Hunt the Flame duology. I've heard incredible things about that series, and I'm definitely going to be continuing this series. Then I read Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonam-Young, and I think I would say that this was my favourite book from this video. It was a absolute no-brainer 5-star read. I was laughing, I was grinning, I adored this, and I have to read her entire backlist of books. And finally, I read The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern and rated this 4 stars. And it only took me about a week and a half to read all of these, and overall, I think very highly of them. I am so happy that I did this and got to try out a bunch of authors that I've never read before, and I really enjoyed it, and I definitely want to see if I can do one of these in the future because this was so much fun. I think I'm going to end this video here. Thank you very much for watching, and I will hopefully see you next time.